I'd like to welcome you to another brand new episode of Sound Off, where we are turning up the volume on all things in music. Now I got a couple guys next to me. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is C. Isaac, but I'm gonna start off to my left and get the rest of my panelists here.
Harvey Cummings.
Dion Galloway.
And also to my right, fella.
Blair Alexander.
Lewis Walker.
All right. Well, fellas, all right, we got a little bit going on today with the history of hip hop. We're about to mix, for our album choices for this week, we're gonna mix a little blend of the old and new. So we're gonna take something that was old and mix it with something new and see what we come up with in this pot. Cause we got some boom bapples on the stage and we got some new ages on the stage. So we need a little bit of both. All right, so the album that we chose for this week, we got the great Chancellor Bennett, aka Chance the Rapper. The album is called Ashes Rap, and we're gonna put it up against CL Smooth and Pete Rock, the main ingredient. Sounds like some action to me, fellas. Sounds like a lot of action to me. All right. So where do we start? No. Let's pick the album first. Let me go ahead and tell you where we at. Which album we choosing first? Lewis. Talk to me a little bit about Pete Rock and CL Smooth.
I actually like to defer. However, being the elder statesman at the table, this album, for me, at a time, I'm coming up in high school, and it's a golden era album. One of the boom bappers that he was referring to.
Or the boom bapper that I'm referring to.
The boom bapper. I'll take it. Boom bapper. I'll take it. Pete Rock is, in my opinion, easily one of the top 5 producers to ever sample, touch a record, whatever. So, in this opus of 16 songs, man, this guy gave you not only 16 beats, but also beats in between the beats, interludes, which are also on some of your other favorite albums as well. Being 15, coming up listening to this album, man, this joint kind of took me a whole lot of different places. And CL's flow, not necessarily the best, but I think he kind of rode those pockets that Pete kind of put him in. So, I love the album. Definitely one of my favorites. I had it on cassette, bought it on CD a couple times that people stole, and still bumping it to this day. So I love it. Love the album.
So with that album, would it resonate more with you life-wise, or did you take to the music more? Was it more something that you could relate to, or was the music that important?
Sounds like a life album to me.
I think for me, in that era of music, the competition was so stiff. So, in listening to it and really enjoying that album, 15, I wasn't going through a lot of things, what these guys were talking about, but just enjoying the music itself. I think for me, so I guess to your point, it started out as more so me enjoying the music and kind of translating into life. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Talk to me, Blair.
I first got introduced to the album when I was a kid. My older brother used to play it constantly. I didn't learn to appreciate it until I got older, started kind of going back, listening to different projects and so forth, and really just learning to appreciate it at that time, to where I was able to connect with it a little bit more. Just like Lewis said, I think Pete Rock is one of the illest producers even to this day. I think it's safe to say if you go back and just look at production styles, even back then, I think it's safe to say Pete was kind of on to some new things. He was definitely doing some different techniques production-wise, a lot of different delays, reverbs, flipping of samples, the way his drums would hit, especially his snares. They were just on to different things. And it's funny hearing Lewis say, he didn't think CL Smooth is kind of like, this great MC, like as far as like flows or whatever, but I personally feel CL Smooth, that dude is always in the pocket, like literally always in the pocket. But yeah, overall, great album. I still kind of go back to it every once in a while, so I definitely appreciate it.
Okay.
And it's good. So.
Huh?
You can tell I'm such a musician because like every time I listen to Pete Rock and CL Smooth, like I'm always just tapped into the beats. I'm always tapped into the percussion. I'm always tapped into the samples that Pete always uses. You know, even prevalent of producers now, like you hear like Madlib and Ninth Wonder, you can tell that they got their, you know, like he was the originator of that, and like, you know, CL had it. I was a late bloomer on the album. It wasn't until I was in college till I got on it, and you know, it was just one of those albums that, you know, you could bump top to bottom, beats was nice and everything else, but it's just like I didn't grow up like on that album. It didn't really have a particularly, you know, influx in, you know, like in my life like that.
So let me ask you a question. Since you were such a late bloomer to the album, does it resonate more to you because of Pete Rock? Because of the production side?
Mostly.
Okay, because CL, hey man, I respect your game, what you did, you would give or take. It was a lot of dudes that could have stayed in that same pocket. But, cause, I mean, Pete Rock, it was a lot of cats that could have slid in that pocket, but I'm not gonna go there right now. Galloway.
That shit was a layup.
It was a layup. It was with Galloway.
Yeah, so, all right, so I'm a huge, let me say this first, man. I'm a huge Pete Rock and CL Smooth, well, Pete Rock fan. Correct. I'm a huge Pete Rock fan. Personally, I was somewhat disappointed in the album. I remember hearing the album when I was in college, and at that point in time, I was like, you know, I just kind of tossed it to the side. It didn't really have a huge impact on me. A lot of the beats, it's my personal opinion, they sound very similar, track by track. Track by track, they sound very similar. But I will say this. Pete Rock, I could tell like he was definitely tampering with his production methods. You could tell he was doing things different than a lot of other producers at that point in time. But at the same point in time, it didn't really do anything to separate itself from other music that were coming out at that point in time. CL Smooth, bruh, I literally was dozing on what you were spitting at. Like, I wasn't impressed. Nothing he spit moved me.
Would you say the content on the album is repetitive?
Yeah, very repetitive. Like the beats, like I said, the beats themselves, they sound exactly like, not exactly like, but very similar to what they had at that point in time, which is expected. Right. But me personally, there were other albums at that point in time that separated themselves from what everyone else was doing. Mm-hmm. Okay. It's my opinion. But like I said, man, it was a decent album. It was only 2 tracks that really stood out to me, like on the whole album. I'll tell you, Check It Out, In the Flesh, and It's On You. Those 3 tracks on the end of the album were the ones that I was like, okay, finally something I can groove to.
Don't get on the mic, anything like that.
Nah, I ain't really getting.
They gonna run this list down to you. Like, bro, you tripping over here.
I ain't gonna bother.
They gonna tell you.
I Gotta Love was
that was one of I think that was one of the singles, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I Gotta Love was pretty tough. Like, you know, but I mean, and again, I'm more partial to the South anyway. I like what the South groups, okay. But you know, that's my opinion.
All right, so in comparison, all right, of course we got to get this quick wrap up, and you guys give me an overall on it. Tell me where you at.
Oh shit!
I'm gonna give it a 4.
Jesus, Lewis.
I'm gonna give it a 4. I'm gonna give it a 4.
The host kind of biased though.
Listen, I ain't How, and the reason I say 4 is because I had a discussion this week about an album that I picked from the last episode. We won't talk about that. However, it does not take a perfect album to make a great album. So for what CL Smooth brought to the table, Pete Rock laid a perfect foundation for it, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. So granted, yeah, his flows weren't the best, and granted, his style was a bit monotone, kind of like a Guru to a Premier. Mm-hmm. But nobody else could have produced for CL, just like nobody else could have produced for Guru, in my opinion. Okay. And have it, sound the way that it sounded. So for me, that's a 4.
So a 4?
Mainly for the beats though, because I'm such a Pete Rock fan, mm-hmm. and I'm such a James Brown fan. He came up sampling, so for me, that's why I give it
4.
That.
Blair?
I'd probably have to give the main ingredient 3.5, maybe a light 4. just off of, I just feel the content on the album is a little too repetitive. CL Smooth tends to talk about a lot of the same things pretty much throughout. There's definitely some standout cuts on the album. My personal fave being Escape. I thought Escape was dope. Yeah, I'd have to give it a 3.5, like 4. So.
I'm just gonna go with like a 3.5. I mean, it's a generic. I can say it's generic, but it was. I mean, it was an easy listening album, but it wasn't nothing that stood out for me. I had my joints I like, but you know, it's not an album that I personally go back and go back when there's other library of, you know, Pete Rock and CL Smooth out there that, you know, I feel that were, you know, better cuts in the album.
Got it.
I'd probably give it like a 3.2. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like other than Pete Rock, and again, I could tell Pete Rock wasn't his strongest at that point in time. I don't think like he had developed like this full arsenal that he has now. But I mean, like back then, I only listened to this album one time in college, and then I doubled back on it today. Well, a couple of days ago, and then I listened to it again today just to make sure. And yeah, I think it deserves the 3.2 it's going to get.
So overall, we roughly at about a 3.5 for the overall album. Okay. I mean, you can't beat that as far as the score for Solid for all those years as far as time. That's a pretty long line standing out. So now what we're going to do, switch this whole party around a little bit, right? Because now we coming with this new guy. New guy singing on the tracks, but production is outstanding. Lewis. Production is outstanding. Yeah, I'm looking at his face. Production is outstanding from a whole overall of encompassing different sounds into one sound. So if you go from Pete Rock and CL Smooth, which is, okay, you know the definition, like boom bap, you got a chance to incorporate different genres of music into one. Now, that's a little different than me from taking a sample and then playing a beat over the top of it. It's a little different. So I'm just trying to see how these two blend together to become one. Because we got this old thing, like I said, it was the standard, it was tradition, it was how it worked. But we took this fusion thing and trying to get an idea on how you decide to look at that.
Right.
So, you want to wait on you want to wait a little while, or you want to go ahead and get it on out?
I think I'm gonna wait.
You gonna wait a little
Go
while?
ahead, fire off, Louis. Go ahead, fire off, man.
We're gonna switch it around. Huh? Okay, go ahead, buzz it out, Bled.
So the album that Seth is talking about is Chance the Rapper's Acid Rap.
Yes.
I absolutely love the album. I think it's incredible. Just like you had stated, a lot of musicality. I think a lot of that's attributed to Chance's producers, being Donnie Trumpet or Nico Segal, Peter Cottontail, Nate Fox, his whole Social Experiment band. I mean, these are guys who are classically trained musicians, so it's not really play-by-ear kind of production. I mean, there's a lot of theory involved, kind of mixed with that though. It's a very Chicago project, and I say that because Chance tends to blend this newfound juke music into his records in a good way. Of course, a lot of the jazz elements, a lot of the soul elements. I mean, Chicago has always been a very deep-rooted city in regards to music. This is the city that popularized jazz. It didn't birth jazz, it popularized jazz. So, and Chance, just cadence-wise, like this dude, it's really hard to pin him down flow-wise because he's in so many different pockets, but it works for him. And he does it so damn well.
Yeah,
like, that's the thing that's scary, for him to be as young as he is and that versed on just rapping alone. It's just crazy. But I absolutely love the project. I think it's great.
Okay.
A lot of standout cuts, but
You can really start from
you
where
really
you
can. You really
keep
can.
it. Look at that. He's over there heating up, ladies and gentlemen. And it ain't the lights either. It's not the lights. It's not the lights.
I go now.
No, we're going to give you we're going to jump the hall.
Okay, go ahead.
Jump the
Acid
hall.
Rap was one of them albums or mixtapes, projects that came out like when it needed to. It was fresh. It was just what was known about it was just his quirkiness. It was like the quirkiness of the album. It had a lot of personality, like Blair said, like just the production, Donnie Trumpet, Social Experiment. It was fresh, and it definitely felt Chicago. I could definitely hear the Kanye influence. I could definitely hear the Common influence. I could definitely hear, all these different facets And even where like he is now with his newer projects, it's still like I look back at acid rap and I'm like, okay, this kid is definitely, you know, grown in like the 3 or 4 years that it's been out. So I mean, it's just more like affirmation that, you know, Chance is an artist that's, you know, here to stay, and just going back on this album, like, you know, it was really good. So.
All right, cool. Galloway?
Yo, man, this album is absolute fire. This mixtape is so tough. Like, I remember when I first heard it, I knew instantly, like this dude was gonna be around and he was gonna introduce and transcend music in some way, shape, or form. Like, I just didn't know he was gonna grow and just cultivate his craft to the point that he has. Like the album musically, it gives you a little bit of everything. Like the two fellas have already said, it gives you hip hop, it gives you, you know what I'm saying, it gives you jazz, it gives you soul, like the juke music that they doing in Chicago, it gives you literally everything, and he does it so well. This is somebody's cadences in style that's all over the place, but he blends it well. Like, you can't hold him into one type of genre because he literally bounces all over the place. He combines different tracks to make tracks longer. You know, he'll have one song and then before you know it, you're into another song with a totally different style that's supposed to be the same track. Like, the man is dope.
So
the man
complete
is
fire,
dope.
what you saying.
It's complete fire. This is a dope ass album.
And ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's check out what's going on down here.
Yeah, Lewis.
So I don't even know where to start. So admittedly, when I first heard the album initially, I ain't like shit at all. I literally had the Michael Jordan crying mean face when I first heard the album. I didn't like it. However, after listening to the album 4 or 5 times, it finally grew on me. You know, a lot of what everybody else said. You know, it kind of touched on a lot of different genres of music. Initially, it just sounded like the beats were busy and his flow was busy as well, which is why I didn't initially like it. I still don't love it.
Damn,
That's cool.
damn, he don't love you, girl. He don't love you.
I still want to hit it.
Yeah, I still want to hit it.
But I ain't
I'm
gonna
gonna
be
come
here
over
for the
tonight.
love,
I'm
but
gonna come over tonight and
no
hit
more.
it.
Yeah.
But I ain't gonna never say I love your ass.
I still don't love the album. And maybe that's just the old guy in me. I think, you know, he's definitely a good, solid rapper. And I think if he settles down a little bit, I think if, you know, in addition to the excellent productions on the album, if it was a little less busy, I think I like it more. Okay. I like the album. I initially wanted to go in wanting to like the album, but again, with 5 listens, I'm still not in love with it. I think I might have had my feel on Chance.
No doubt.
Damn.
So, all right, we got to run this quick, though. Let's get these numbers out of here. What you got, man?
4.7. It is it's up there, upper echelon album. 4.7.
I'm giving it a good 4.3.
4.5.
Lou?
What you got, Lewis? Give me a good. What you got, Lewis? What you got?
For where I am now, maybe a 3.5.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Okay.
That's
tough
pretty
for you.
good.
That was
Come on,
pretty good.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
All right, so overall, with a little bias on the side, we're going to end up at putting this at about 4. But the beauty of this whole argument, ladies and gentlemen, is we have 2 totally different genres of music that we can put together. We have the old school and the new school. We have a perfect combination of all types that's coming together to do the same goal, but they just do it a different way. So we're going to have our boom bappers, and they're going to last, because 95 was their last year. They stopped at 95, and that's cool. But we have this new lineage that's coming around, introducing something fresh with a combination of something old. So overall, I think it was a good battle. What you think,
Yeah,
fellas?
man, it's dope.
Absolutely.
Cool. All right, welcome back to Sound Off. Okay, fellas. like to introduce a new segment to this show right now today. It's going to be called Versus. It's just straight up Versus. The name of the segment is called Versus. We're going to pick maybe either a duo or a single individual artist from different areas of the country and combine them together and see if we can get a good battle out of these two projects. And the object of each fellow is to pick their album and tell us why. Cool?
I can dig it.
All right, man. We got to do the infamous North versus South off gate.
I knew.
Then we got to entertain the whole audience. We got to do the infamous North versus South off gate. We're going to pick two of the biggest duos probably from either one of those areas.
Oh boy, here we go.
Starting off here, we're going to go down to the Dirty, old Port Arthur.
Yeah.
UGK, Riding Dirty.
Okay.
Versus Mobb Deep the Infamous.
Can I say
But I figured if we're gonna pull out some duos, we might as well talk about some legitimate people that you can have a valid argument either way. So it's up to you to make your point the strongest.
You know,
Okay, so
I gotta get mine out the way now. Okay. I'm gonna get this shit out the way. So, of course, the Infamous is a dope ass album. Again, it was one of those albums that set precedents in New York during the 90s, the mid 90s, when either you were bringing it or you weren't. And the Infamous was definitely bringing
they
it.
brought it.
At the same point in time, Riding Dirty by UGK, sweet Jesus. They introduced Southern slang. They introduced just the whole Southern, I hate the word, swag mojo. The Southern mojo. The whole mojo they introduced was just like everything. So I'm always partial to the South. I always believe we've been dogged. We've always been discredited. People don't appreciate what we've brought or are currently bringing. I'm going with Riding Dirty, just based off the simple fact that it is two dope ass albums, hands down. But listen, Riding Dirty, it's gonna get bumped. It's gonna get bumped in the trunk all day.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I love this argument. I love the perplexed looks on these people's faces right now.
Y'all better step out. Y'all better step out, man. Don't be no hoe. Step out there, man. Don't be no hoe.
I'm loving the complexity. Because it's almost like they don't want to make the wrong decision right now. But there is no right or wrong decision.
There is no wrong decision.
There is no.
So with that being said, I guess I'll go next.
All right.
First and foremost, I hate the way that I've been pegged on this cast as the boom bap guy. I hate that. However, I will say that I didn't hear Riding Dirty till college.
Okay.
Now, I'm not sure when it dropped. I don't remember when it dropped, but
96.
Okay, so I got to college in '97, so that's okay.
96, it's still
and I agree with you, Dion. Surprise.
Oh shit.
I agree with Dion that the South has gotten dogged for a very long time for whatever reason. You know, people still today say, you know, the South going hip hop and, you know, shit like that. I don't necessarily agree with it. I love both albums though. You know, Pimp C, his voice and his flow to this day unmatched. You know, and I have a very discriminating palate when it comes to production, when it comes to rhymes. So for a long time, I didn't listen to Southern hip hop. I got introduced to, you know, 8 Ball, MJG, UGK, and those guys in college. You know, when I went to school with guys from Texas, from Tennessee, you know, these places. So I love that album. You know, Havoc, as far as production wise, definitely very, very underrated.
I give you that.
You know, very underrated. But definitely, you know, one of the top producers. You know, Prodigy is always going to bring that gangster, that gutter flow, that, you know, pull that razor blade out your jaw and slice your face type. You know what I mean? He's going to bring it. So, I don't know, man. I don't even know what to pick. I would probably have to give the edge to Riding Dirty, man.
Whoa. Holy shit!
Only because New York hip hop at that time, you know, touching on Dion's earlier point, you know, you knew what you were getting. You knew it was going to be, you know, the beats were coming, you know, the samples were coming, and you know, Riding Dirty is sample heavy as well, but it's so much more soul in that album to me. So I'm gonna have to go with Riding Dirty, man.
All right.
He's talking about soul. Riding Dirty was a funky ass album. First of all, it had the bass lines, just the melodies, everything else. It introduced all that as they've been done, as they've been doing. But I bumped that still.
Oh man.
Still like Havoc did all the beats. Like Havoc did the production for that, and it was just gritty. It was textbook boom bap.
It was.
We're talking about boom bap. I mean, this is just textbook boom bap, jazz samples, grit talk, the New York talk. Oh man.
Man, we got two interesting opinions out here. I didn't expect you to go that way, and I didn't expect you to go that way. So I'm gonna just stay blowing blazes good. Like you still house good on?
I'm rolling with Infamous.
He's rolling with the.
I'm rolling with the Infamous. That album is cold.
2-1.
So is it close for you, Harv? Or
It was close. It was close. I mean, I still bump them, but it's just the Infamous to me has a better, you know, stand.
Okay.
It's indescribable. That's what that motion was.
Yeah, that's everything right there. Blair?
I think it's safe to say New York hip hop, especially in the 90s, it kind of set the standard for what people, just like Lewis was saying, people would expect. But with Southern hip hop music, it just has a whole different vibe, a whole different feel. And with me growing up in Los Angeles, growing up on Dre, Snoop, DJ Quick, you know, Sugar Free, like all of these just very funk driven, soul driven, you know, elements in all of this music, and also just growing up in the Death Row era in Los Angeles, just kind of being exposed to that and still being exposed to New York music.
G-Funk.
G-Funk, you know. I've always loved New York hip hop. I love Mobb Deep. I think this album in particular it's not even up for debate. It's classic, but I'm gonna have to say Riding Dirty because it resonates with me a lot more. I think it's safe to say the South and the West have always kind of been connected in more ways than one, which is bringing something completely different to the table. And not to mention, I just love Pimp C. I just think Pimp C is one of the best.
Say word.
I think Bun B can rap just about anybody under
Rap
the
is-
table.
yes.
Even till this day.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like when Bun hops on like some young dude's record or whatever, bodies of shit. Like what was that? The country shit remix with Crit?
yeah,
Crit, yes,
Listen,
man. God,
Yo,
bro.
I mean, hell, even the Black Milk shit,
Right.
dude. I mean, like Bun, just that dude is an elder statesman for real. Mm-hmm. And
OG to the triplest
oh
of
yeah,
the OG.
absolutely. And Pimp C, I just think just one of the realest.
Say whatever's on his mind.
Right.
Didn't give
Whatever,
a fuck, like
yo.
straight balls to the wall,
Yeah.
everything. But yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Riding Dirty just because I just felt like I can connect to it more. I also felt it was a lot more relatable. You know, I can't really relate to shit going on in Queens.
So you know, pull the blade out the
Yeah,
jaw.
you know, I can't really relate to that,
Gave
man.
him
That-
50 across
that-
the jaw.
I mean, I grew up in South Central, but that ain't even some South Central shit. I can't really connect to that. But yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Riding Dirty, and yeah, that's my album. I love that shit. Still listen to it till this day.
Bet. So we can agree that these albums are pretty much like
Those are
kids,
good ones.
and you just have to like. I don't want to say who I feel like playing with today. Like it's pretty much like you know you got multiple children.
Right.
It's not the same relationship interaction every day. You're gonna have more fun on this day than you may on another day.
It's like shoes, man. It's like
But yeah, like I'm not buying both of y'all's shoes today. Like I just want you coming out with me today. But I take it just a quick synopsis on it. I'm going Riding Dirty just because they look like what they talk about. Mobb Deep was too little. They were too little. I'm sorry. They both were too little. When you look at these 5'2" ass niggas talking this hard ass shit.
Kevin Hart,
Like,
Kevin Hart, Cat Williams, get out of here.
Get out of here. But hey, man,
Like
no
Dave
disrespect.
said, we don't believe you. You need more.
You need more people. So it's just that's just my concept of just they don't look like Pimp C look like a pimp.
Yes.
Bun look like a gangster. Like they both look like they would do whatever they said that they were going to do. It's just a pick.
Box
Sorry,
Chevys,
Mobb Deep.
slow motion,
And you
funk
picked
shit.
albums.
Huh?
And you picked.
And I picked the album. So I still rock
it's a
with
bit
it.
of bias.
Yeah. It's just a tad bit. It's just a little bit on the side of it. All right, that wasn't a bad one right there, actually, fellas. That was pretty good for a verse.
Pretty good. I'm
But
proud.
hold on, let's see what this Dodo talking about, though. Oh boy. Now, I'm finna switch it up a little bit. I want to go to Mississippi, but then I want to go to Ohio type shit, right? So let's talk about this David Banner Mississippi album versus Ray Cash on Delivery.
Lewis, what you got
Ladies and gentlemen, I have never listened to either one of those albums.
Oh man, the Mississippi Project.
Never. I have never.
The Mississippi album.
Yeah.
His first album.
Cadillac Soul 22.
Never
Get that pimp, get down on the floor. With the
I've heard the
left foot.
singles from that album.
Never heard of it.
Listen to that
Ah,
album.
man, you missing a great album.
So I've heard.
A great album.
Okay.
See,
But as of
never,
today.
see, I've never listened to the Ray Cash all the way. I've heard the singles. I've heard different ones. My first run-in with Ray Cash was the Bump in
My music. Yeah.
And I was like, okay, and I went on and I was like, all right, I rocks with him, you know, but
So, what about you, bro?
Just like Harv said, only the singles for the Ray Cash joint, but
man,
that David Banner
yeah.
shit is tough though.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Well, goddamn, I guess I'm
I
not.
mean, I had the banner, and when I first heard like a pimp, I'm like, okay, this is a cool song, but I'm like, okay, what else is he like? Is he deeper than this? Is he what kind of? And then you listen to this album, and he's
And
like,
little did you know. Little did you know. Yeah, like what? Little did you know.
It's just real prolific and very well spoken and educated, man.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I've heard both albums through and through. Ray Cash on Delivery was a very dope album. Heavy Southern influence. Like UGK was. You could tell he grew up to UGK. Like just the type of the way he rapped and like the beats. It was heavy Southern influence. Mississippi, the album, David Banner's first album. Look, man, hands down, this album was just the fact that he was doing his own beats and the way he was spitting, like he was Crit before
I was just about to say. Yeah.
before Crit, like I could tell Crit like molded his whole style after David Banner, just the way I mean
Alabama, Mississippi.
yeah, like, bro, like the album from start to finish, man. I mean, there was some skippables on there, like definitely some skippables, because I mean, it's his first joint, and I mean, I was on David Banner when he dropped Crooked Letters. Like a lot of people might not know Crooked Letters was like the first group he came out with, like, you know what I'm saying? But this album, Mississippi, the album, can stand the test of time, and at the same time, Ray Cash on Delivery. It was a couple tracks on there that I was like, this nigga is fire. Now I don't understand why he only dropped one album, but he did.
Right.
If I had to choose one, it's Mississippi. It's definitely.
It's hard to combat
that Mississippi the album, man. That shit. Please, Lewis, y'all
Need to check out Ray Cash.
need to check out Ray Cash, but Mississippi the album, give it an entire listen. I promise you, you won't be disappointed. I promise you.
Look at my face.
Promise you, dog. Lewis, give it a chance, dog. Give it a chance, man. Give it a chance.
If I can sit through acid rap,
Oh shit,
Man.
I can make it through a David Banner album.
damn, bro. Have you heard Death of a Pop Star?
Oh, the ninth one.
I do like that.
collab.
I like that.
Okay,
Because
so
of ninth one.
That's so unfair right there. I knew that's what was going to be, isn't it?
Oh, you like him on the night?
No, but I actually, not to get off topic, but I actually like that album.
So
I did like that.
scale back just a bit of his talent to like his first album. You will understand, like you'll
And
like.
scale back on the production, I'm sure.
But you gotta understand
that it came out. That came out in like the middle of like the
99. It's like 99, 2000. You know what I'm saying? Like
it was like 2003.
Was it 2000? Okay, so yeah, 2000.
Like
Yeah.
Bone Crusher.
You gotta just give it a chance. That's what I'm saying. Just give it a chance.
Because that's why songs like "Get Down Like a Pimp" had to be released as singles, and you had to go to the album to hear stuff like "Cadillacs on 20." Even though that got released as a single eventually, that wasn't one of the first choices out there. Like they had to find a conscious joint on
those
it.
are probably the only two songs I've heard from the album.
Oh,
now,
man.
as far as Ray Cash, I haven't heard the albums, but Ray, from what I heard from Ray Cash, he could rap.
Yes, Ray Cash.
Oh yeah, and I want to
man.
say he had done a song. I could be wrong. He may have done a song with Lil Brother on the DJ Drama mixtape.
Oh, Chillin' Circuit? Was it Chillin' Circuit?
I think
I got you a Circuit 2.5 in the car.
I could be wrong, but I feel like he is.
No, it was separate but equal, right? That was the drama tape, right?
That was the drama.
Yeah, that was the drama tape. Separate but equal.
I don't know. But I mean, from what I know of Ray Cash, he can rap.
He can definitely rap, man. So that battle was just based off of taking sound. Like, if you think about both of the singles off of the project, like "Bumping My Music" and "Get Down Like a Pimp," they were big sounding records. But when you actually listen to the album, you found out that these dudes weren't just guys that was just spitting something to get on the radio.
Right.
They actually had something to say, but they ended up getting put in that box because you got to make money too at the same fact.
So listen to the features he had on Cash on Delivery. He had Scarface. Mm-hmm. He had Beans. Mm-hmm. He had
I think I may have heard that song.
Oh yeah, Better Way. That shit was dope. And then he had Pastor Troy, Bun B, and T.I. So the Southern Beans. You know what I'm saying?
That was Pan. No, that wasn't Pan, was it?
Yeah, it was Pan. Pussy ass niggas. Yeah, man.
Pussy ass nigga.
Banner ended up making the song.
Okay, so with that one being an overall, since we don't have much of subjective material to apply to it, let's base it on the singles then. How do you feel as each artist from what you heard? Who would you take as an artist? Even though there's only small amounts to compare them to, there's something that stands out with one of them.
I'm gonna go on and say I listened to "Bumping My Music" because it had Jay-Z on the joint.
Jay-Z did on that
He
remix.
did the remix, man. And that was a major proponent of it.
That's horrible. That ain't horrible, man.
We're basing it on singles.
That is horrible. That is horrible, bro.
And honestly, so you said Ray Cash, based it on singles.
No, but based on singles, I'm giving it to David Banner. I said the only reason I listened to that single majority was because the
Hov was on
Jay-Z
that.
feature.
Okay.
So,
All right, so we got one David.
If we going by singles, I'm gonna have to agree with Harv. I think I'm gonna have to go with Banner too, because that "Like a Pimp"
Yeah.
with what's my man?
Still
Lil Flip.
Yeah, Lil Flip.
Yeah. When he
Before T.I. RIP this soul. Before T.I.
When he ain't
put him
getting
in
his
the
chain
dirt.
snatched it for sisters only, but we ain't gonna talk about that.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right.
the sisters on?
Definitely David Banner. When those records came out, we were on them real heavy. Yeah, I'm about to go with Banner.
Okay.
Easily, yeah.
I mean, yeah, Banner.
David.
So that was a clean sweep for David Banner. Ray Cash, you still my nigga though, dog. I still rock with you. I still listen to Cash on Delivery to this day. That album still bumps. But what this competition showed us is there's another set of hip hop. Like we have no rules to this thing.
No rules.
Like we have no rules. Like we have genres that can actually compare with each other and we can make them comparable. So we can take the North and put it against the South. We can take Mississippi and throw them up there. Go to the Midwest with Ohio, and then we can still come out with some dope material either way. So like I said, which one of your babies you gonna play with today? We'll be right back.
Bumping my.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are now coming to a close of another episode of Sound Off, but we cannot end the day without just getting some stuff off our chest. Music related, of course, but what we're about to do is take a chance to just spend 1 minute sounding off on whatever we feel like. From today to yesterday to 20 years ago, if it's on my nerves, I'm still going to talk about it. So, without further ado, Harv, your 60 seconds starts now.
Man, my rant is with social media, really. Not really social media, but when people want to focus and put their opinions online, and people see these opinions and they already think of, saying they haven't even heard the song or heard the music or heard the album, but they see these people, talking about it, so they already get like the preconceived notions and everything. Worry about your own opinion, man, before you go out and say something about like anything musical. Like I said, when it comes to the albums, let the album get a chance to just like breathe a little bit. Like people doing these like one listen reviews. Oh, it could be any project. It's been several projects that's dropped this year, and I understand that people want to share via social media and express their opinions, but just focus on yours and don't let other people's opinions change what you think will be. So that's my rant with that. Social media.
Galloway, what you got to talk to him about, bro?
Yo, this is dedicated to the fans of Beyonce. All right, to everybody.
I'm high, my
Yeah, don't do that. We all agreed to this. Earlier, we all agreed to this.
I'm part of the Beehive.
Yo, this is the Beehive. This is dedicated to you people. Yo, stop trying to be social media bullies. All right, stop targeting people for their opinions just because they don't like a certain person that y'all worship as a goddess. She is not a goddess. She is a human being like the rest of us. 2, stop pushing her music on the rest of us just because we might not listen to her, we might not like her, doesn't mean we're bad people. That means we like shit other than Beyonce and Destiny's fucking Child. Everybody does not need to listen to Beyonce and be a part of your Beehive. That is the wackest shit ever, by the way, all right? The Beehive, don't put me, don't do that. Beehive, nobody likes you. Ever.
All right, Galloway. All right.
I'm not doing that shit.
Boy,
The views and expressed during that comment were those solely of Leon Galloway.
you about to have
Hey.
a bunch of little bees on Double Swat's page. Bees Unlimited.
Talk to me, Blair. Talk to me.
Me and Harv kind of broke bread on this for a little bit, but Drake's views, man.
Boy, y'all look just going for the gusto.
Y'all about to get beat.
I'm just not a fan of the album. And let me be thorough. Drake is a great artist. He's very talented. I think he's a great rapper. But I just feel like this album is truly the personification of how formulaic his music is. He always talks about the same things. I don't know. Sometimes I want to just like ask a dude, like, dog, who hurt you? like you just sound so hurt. Like every album, like I think like Take Care. It's like, all right, cool, and then it's like nothing was the same. It's like, damn, all right, kind of got the same thing. And then now Views, I'm just like, dog, who hurt you? I don't know, but anyways,
I don't like
just
when you don't appreciate
just
said that, Lauren.
I don't know. Views.
You should tell me that I did a good job.
And then you have so many people. Oh, another thing. You got people out here already calling the album a classic.
Oh man, Blair, we're gonna have to get to that.
It's a whole nother conversation. It's a whole nother conversation.
All
But
right.
basically, it's not a classic album. Stop saying it's a classic album. No, it's not. All right.
All right, Louis.
He went over.
That's a minute and 27 seconds.
Damn, brother.
And kind of piggybacking off of everybody's, with the exception of Blair, the social media kind of theme. There was no social media back when we were buying albums and listening to albums back in the 90s, 2000s, whatever. Young niggas. I watch.
God damn.
Hold on, man. Wait a minute. Give me a second. I watch a lot of content on social media, and Sway's show is one of my favorites on YouTube to watch.
Sway in the morning.
You know when you go on Sway, your ass can't freestyle. Just leave that shit alone, man. Seriously, I watched. What's the young boy's name?
Was it the
Lil
Skirt?
Uzi Vert?
Skirt.
Is that what he's at?
Nah, that's a Kodak. You talking about Skirt?
Okay,
Lil Uzi Vert or one of y'all with skinny jean wearing this got on there and said he didn't rap over old beats. Like, how do you not do that? How do you?
Hey, Louis. Hey, I feel you, man. It's getting deep over there. Man. But this man here, no, he need to talk to you like that's your daddy. Like this, you don't need no minute. This man can't do that. He need to talk to you like, no, sit your ass here, boy.
He want to sit the belt on the bed. Come here. Let me tell you.
You sound like Action Bronson and Ghostface.
Let me sit the belt on the bed. Like, you know you fucked up. You know.
All right, fella. We all had that good, but you came in at 7:32, and I don't like that. I don't really have a rant, but I just gotta holler at one of the good old triple OGs. Hey, Willie D, what's happening, player? Mr. Mind playing tricks on me. Yo, bro, you realize that was over 20 years ago, my nigga, right? And to fight somebody right now is gonna put both of y'all in the hospital. I don't know whether it's gonna be from your injuries or his injuries. If you still talking to Charles Barkley about catching a fade in 2016, nigga, somebody have a birthday party for a grandchild. Y'all sitting out here, we can sit back and talk, smoke cognac and sit there, but I'm just sitting there like, bruh, it's over, dog. You still writing diss records, talking about catching a fade. What barbershop you go to? I can pay for you to catch a fade. Like, both of y'all, Barkley need a bald head and you need a high top fade, and both of y'all will be straight. But I'm just saying that to say, man, you still my guy though. Right? I'm not gonna talk trash about you like that because you might
too
try
old
to come,
for that shit.
Yeah, but he might try to bring his ass to come see me.
He too old for that shit.
But like I said, man, we have come to the end of another episode, fellas, which was another great one, man. I think that we did an excellent job and had a lot of good conversation. But I want to tell you people, remember, if you didn't hear it here, you wasn't talking loud enough. Welcome to another episode of SoundCloud. Have a good night.
SoundCloud.
Woo! Oh, I said SoundCloud. We're gonna run that back. That was good. It ran so smooth that SoundCloud. That was
Look, I didn't realize you were still talking when I got up. I thought you was done.
SoundCloud.
I walked out.
Welcome to another episode of SoundCloud. So where can I come back at? Just that end? Oh man, okay. All right. There you got that. That's a good ass outtake right there. Okay. All right. Well, we'd like to thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of SoundCloud. Remember, God damn, why do I keep All right, fellas. Hold on.
But you know what? That was our fault for talking.
Yeah, y'all talking about SoundCloud. Let me get back on time.
That was our fault for talking about SoundCloud.
All right, quiet on the set.
Oh, come back,
Bring your ass back in 2 seconds.
Shit, this nigga's killing me. This nigga's killing me, dog.
Sound off.
Oh,
Okay, all right.
He about to get the sound off turned off.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. All right. So I'd like to thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Sound Off. And remember again, if you didn't hear it here, you must not have been talking loud enough. Thank you for watching Sound Off. Have a good night.
Peace.